For over 2,000 years, the stage has been like a mirror held up to humanity. It reflects our deepest fears, our biggest wins, and our most nagging questions. So in this explainer, we're going to trace the incredible story of Western drama. We'll see how that mirror has changed, from reflecting the gods to our own minds, and eventually to a world that maybe didn't seem to have any meaning at all. Okay, let's jump in.
This right here is the big question, isn't it? And for centuries, drama has really done both. It hasn't just shown us who we are, it has actively argued for who we should be. It's challenged our beliefs, and sometimes it's tried to completely smash our assumptions. It's both a reflection of the times and an event that changes them.
So, we're going to start our journey in ancient Greece. But you've got to forget everything you know about going to the theater today. Back then, drama wasn't just a fun night out. No way. It was a sacred ritual, a civic duty. It was how an entire community got together to grapple with its relationship to the gods and the immense power of fate. What's really wild is how this all started. It began with these big choral hymns to Dionysus, the god of wine and ecstasy. And from there, you get these brilliant playwrights like Aeschylus and Sophocles creating tragedies, these epic stories about heroes facing impossible moral questions we're still asking. And then you had comedies, which were the place for some seriously sharp political takedowns. This whole thing was so fundamental to their society that the philosopher Aristotle actually wrote a manual on it, his Poetics, creating dramatic theory that's still influential thousands of years later.
Okay, so after the fall of Rome, formal theater pretty much vanished for a while. And when it came back, it reemerged from inside the Christian church, which, dominated everything. The stage essentially became a visual extension of the pulpit. You had these morality plays like Everyman, where characters were literally named virtue, vice, or death. It was drama as a teaching tool, plain and simple, designed to make sure everyone was on the same page with the Christian worldview.
Now, let's jump forward to the Renaissance, because this is where everything is about to get flipped on its head. That mirror of drama, it turns away from the heavens and focuses with this incredible new intensity on the most complicated subject imaginable, us, the individual human being. And the engine driving this massive shift was a little thing called humanism. As the world was expanding through trade and exploration, there was this rediscovery of classical Greek and Roman ideas. And the big part of that was celebrating human potential. Instead of just seeing people as flawed and sinful, humanism explored our capacity for greatness, our psychological messes, our inner conflicts. And this philosophical change, well, it created the perfect storm for a dramatic explosion. And this line from Hamlet just nails that new fascination, doesn't it? And nobody captured this humanist spirit better than William Shakespeare. His characters weren't just simple good guys and bad guys. They were deeply complex, morally great people driven by ambition, love, jealousy, madness. And through tools like the soliloquy, he took the audience right inside a character's head, exploring their inner world like never before. This really was a golden age. For the first time, you had permanent public theaters like the Globe. It became a real professional industry. Playwrights were using the rhythm of blank verse, this sort of heartbeat-like pattern called iambic pentameter, to create incredible emotional power. And because they had almost no scenery, the real magic had to be in the language and the acting. The entire world was built right inside the audience's imagination. All right, now we're going to leap forward to the 19th century. The mirror swings once again. It moves away from the minds of kings and tragic heroes and points right into the living rooms of the ordinary middle class. As the Industrial Revolution created new money and new anxieties, drama became the perfect tool to critique society and examine all the hypocrisies hiding in plain sight. This new movement was called realism, and its goal was simple but totally radical. It wanted to show life exactly as it was lived, not some idealized fantasy. Playwrights wanted to get their hands dirty to tackle real social problems, class, money, the role of women, with brutal honesty. The stage wasn't about mythic heroes anymore. It was about us. And if you need one perfect example of realism's power, just look at the premiere of Henrik Ibsen's play A Doll's House in 1879. The ending, where a wife walks out on her husband and children to go find herself, was so completely shocking to people at the time that it actually caused riots. It was proof that theater could be a major force for social debate, shining a spotlight on some very uncomfortable truths. But what happens when the world itself seems to break?
The 20th century, with its two devastating world wars and a creeping sense of existential dread, led to a radical break. The thinking went, if life doesn't make sense anymore, why should our plays? The mirror didn't just reflect a new, darker reality, it completely shattered.
Yeah, this slide really shows you just how radical that break was. On one side, you've got realism, with its logical plots and its goal to make you think about society. On the other, you've got the theater of the absurd. Playwrights like Samuel Beckett, writing in the shadow of all that destruction, they just threw logic out the window. Their goal wasn't to solve problems, it was to put the feeling of a meaningless world on stage. You didn't leave the theater feeling enlightened, you left feeling deeply uncomfortable. And that was the whole point.
This table just lays out the whole evolution perfectly. I mean, just look at the shift in purpose. Elizabethan drama wanted to entertain and moralize, but the 20th century avant-garde, their mission was to shock, question, and transform. The language goes from poetic and beautiful to fragmented and experimental. The audience goes from being emotionally pulled in to being critically pushed away. Literally, every tool in the playwright's toolbox got re-examined and in a lot of cases, completely reinvented.
So, after this incredible journey from sacred ritual all the way to total deconstruction, where does that leave us? Well, today's theater is this rich, complex, amazing tapestry woven from all these different threads. It's like we're taking all those shattered pieces of the mirror and putting them back together in new and surprising ways. And this timeline really sums it all up, right? We started with drama serving the gods. Then, the Renaissance turned it inward to explore you and me, the individual. The realists turned it outward to confront society. And finally, the absurdists turned it on itself, questioning the very idea of meaning. Every single shift was a reaction to whatever came right before it. Which brings us right back to our opening question, but with a modern twist. In our fragmented, super connected, and, let's be honest, often chaotic world, what is the mirror of drama reflecting right now? Is it showing us one single reality, or is it showing us thousands of different ones, all at the same time? That's the question that theater keeps asking, and it's up to us to keep watching to find the answer.